Hey guys, this is Savannah from earthandwater.co. Let's talk about chakras, or more importantly, what is a chakra, to start out with, anyway. Okay, so the universe is made out of energy, yes, and everything's energy. Everything's energy. Your energy, I'm energy, these devices that we're listening to and recording on are energy, all of it, everything. And energy can never be created nor destroyed. It is just constantly transferred from one area to the next, and so on and so forth for the rest of eternity. In a nutshell, anyway. So our chakras are energy points. They're centers of energy in our bodies that are absorbing energy and taking in energy and dispersing energy, and it's basically just our connection to everything else. There's tens of thousands of energy points, aka chakras, in our bodies, but there's systems of chakras and working with the chakras. So there's 7 that most people recognize, but there's a ton of different systems. For simplicity's sake, we will just focus on the mainstream 7 that run up and down the length of the spine. But do know that this is a huge subject that can no way be covered in a simple podcast episode. But we have to start somewhere. So let's start with these 7. The root is your first one. It's the one at the bottom, and it goes all the way up through the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. In that order, from bottom to top, because Earth sends energy from it to us. I'm all sorts of tongue-tied today. But I really hope that my message is getting through anyway. And we could go into talking about how limiting language is anyway, but we're trying to stay focused here. So 7 energy centers. You have 3 bottom physical chakras, and those tie us to the physical world. The 3 upper spiritual / mental chakras tie us to those aspects of life and the universe and whatnot, and then you have the heart in the center that connects them, the two. The heart's the most powerful, it's the center of life, all of that good stuff. So each chakra governs a certain aspect of not only your physical body, but life and your mental aspects, your beliefs, and essentially if your chakra is healthy and running good, then you're healthy and running good. But if you're having physical ailments, manifestation like quality of life type of issues, or spiritual, mental issues, any kind of problems you're having can be tied back to a chakra, and essentially that chakra being unhealthy and blocked. So you may have heard people talking about clearing your chakras or aligning your chakras, and that's essentially what they mean. It's their energetic pools in your body that when the pools are clean of debris that you've picked up, then they're running good and all the gears are working right, and the areas of which that chakra governs are also healthy. For example, an easy one to understand is the heart chakra. We all know what the heart signifies, right? Love, self-love, love for others, relationships, that kind of stuff. If our heart chakra is healthy, then we'll have no problem in relationships with both ourselves and others, self-love. But if there's a block or something clogging up our heart chakra, then we might find negative manifestations in not only our relationships, but the physical things like organs and parts of our bodies that chakra governs, like the heart and the lungs and the shoulders and all of the things in that area, the ribs, the heart area stuff. And you get these blocks, these clogs, from negative things that you encounter, situations. Maybe people hurt you, somebody in a relationship was not who they should have been or said they were or were going to be, and I don't know, you got hurt. That's usually what happens. You got hurt. Or you were giving a negative or limiting or false belief that, relationships are like XYZ, so you think that that's a universal truth. And again, all of this is subconscious, so we don't really notice it's there until we start picking apart what our beliefs are. You know, most of us have been walking around here pretty unconscious to the fact that we are energetical beings and that we have these chakras that are tapped in, tuned in, turned on to like everything around us. I explained it to somebody yesterday because the chakras, they're attached to our auras, and we pretty well understand that our auras radiate outside of our bodies, right? And and at different lengths and different sizes. So some people have really big auras, some people have not so big auras. It just kind of depends on lots of things. And as we're walking around and living life, our auras are constantly bumping into everybody else's auras, and the auras of animals and the auras of plants. And, you know, it's just exchanging energy with all of these beings all of the time. And sometimes in doing that, we can pick up other people's stuff, like gross stuff. It's kind of like a domino effect. If you're really stressed out and then you go out and you bump into other people's auras, you're going to be leaving stress and tension all over the place. But in knowing that, you can do the opposite as well, and when you leave, you can make sure that your aura is all clean and calm and good, so that when you're bumping into other people, that's the kind of energy and vibrations that you're leaving with them. So theoretically and hopefully we're choosing that more often than the stress thing, which I know we don't choose the stress, but it takes a lot to manage that in a controllable type of way. And all we can do is really just try our best and be aware, and that's why it's called a practice, right? We're here to practice our practices of calming and grounding and clearing and being balanced and trying to be the best us that we can be, so we can maybe fix this world a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, it's just good to walk around and be aware that you're absorbing other people's energies, because you don't have to. You don't have to absorb other people's energies. You can put a wall up between that and be like, "Ooh, that's not mine. I don't want that." And then make sure that the only thing that you're giving other people, to the best of your abilities, none of us is perfect, good energy. But that's essentially what's happening here, is that our chakras are picking up these things that aren't necessarily ours all the time. I mean, sometimes they are, for sure. Sometimes we definitely sabotage ourselves. But for the most part, beliefs and negative energies are just kind of passed around from one person to the next. And our chakras take these and essentially eternalize them as part of us, but they're not, so it makes us unhealthy because it's essentially a foreign body in our body. So upon studying the chakras and referring back to the chakras and working with the chakras, it gives us a system to look at to heal ourselves in every aspect. You know, when we first start learning about healing and trying to heal, a lot of us are very overwhelmed by it, and we just don't know where to start, and we don't know what to do. And the chakras kind of help point us in a direction of, you know, a start to finish type of direction, because you start at the bottom of the chakras, the very first one, the root, and you move your way up, because energy flows from the root to the sacral to the solar plexus. So that's the direction that you work. You work on the root chakra first, and then you work on the sacral, and then you go up to the solar plexus, and so on and so forth until you get to the crown. It's Maslow's pyramid, essentially. If you're not familiar with Maslow's pyramid, also called Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's also a system that states that you have to start with your physiological needs first before you can move up to your safety, and then you can start enjoying love and belonging, and then you can move up to self-esteem, and last, self-actualization. And the chakra system's the same. You know, I was talking about how you have 3 lower physical chakras. You have to get those healthy. You have to get those stable, you know, the bottom, the foundation of the house, before you can start building up your walls and your roof and then decorating. And that's essentially, you know, everybody wants to run straight to the third eye chakra, you know, the cool stuff, especially if you're into this kind of stuff. Usually people who are into this kind of stuff come at it from a spiritual, intuition, witchy type of direction, instead of a more like scientific, trying that type of direction. They want to come at it from the top instead of from the bottom, but you have to get your stability grounded in the physical bottom 3 before you can get to the fun stuff of the third eye opening, okay? You really do, or it's just going to create more unbalance and chaos. So instead of trying to go through each chakra in this one episode, I'm going to break them up, and we're going to start with the root chakra first. So the next episode will be about the root chakra and what it governs and how you can fix it specifically. But honestly, the best thing you can do is meditation, visualization of each chakra, starting with the bottom, going up, and imagining each one as a healthy, glowing orb of swirling light. If you want to go ahead and get started with it. I have a full-blown guided chakra meditation a couple of episodes back that you can go find. If you have a pendulum, you can test the health of each chakra by dangling the pendulum over each chakra, and I know I can't show you the locations through the episode, but any kind of search engine, just type in chakra locations, will show you exactly where they're at. I find visuals being much more useful than me trying to explain it via like this. But anyway, throw me your questions so that we can talk about those. Join us in the Facebook group and stay tuned for the following episodes. Thanks. Namaste.